Well, good morning. And here it is, looking at the results of the last 5 days. Silicon Valley Bank and one other bank had a run on deposits, meaning they had not enough money to pay the people that had deposited money in the bank. A very scary thing, because we're kind of have an economy based on the fact that if you put your money in the bank, it's the safest place to put it. And since banks are FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, insured up to $250,000, if you're a poor person with only $250,000 or less in a bank, you're safe. It's covered. The problem with Silicon Valley Bank is they had many, many depositors that, because they emulate from Silicon Valley, were startups, venture capitalists with millions and millions, if not billions of dollars in their accounts, which the first $275,000 are insured, but the next $50 million are not insured. And what happened is the United States had to come in and have the Federal Reserve guarantee all the other depositors. Now, obviously, the bank managers, the president of the bank, the board of chairman of the bank, and the people that bought the bank stock are losers. They are not going to be covered in this bailout. Only the depositors that put their money in a bank thinking a bank's the safest place to have my money. I think right now maybe under your mattress would be better. But here's what I want to say. This wasn't caused by crazy, rampant speculation like the savings and loan collapse, like the 2008 financial collapse. Those were lending money to people they shouldn't have lent to, and they couldn't make the payments on the interest on the loans. This bank and a number of the banks that are probably having some difficulty or some fear right now that you don't know about put their money in savings bonds, U.S. savings bonds, U.S. paper of loans to the U.S. government. And because they did that, they felt it was very safe. The problem was, it was very safe, but as Jerome Powell, the Honorable Jerome H. Powell, who is head of the Federal Reserve, which is the one that safeguards inflation for the U.S. government, but the Federal Reserve is not part of the U.S. government. The Federal Reserve is a conglomeration of the richest groups of families in the world, values of probably trillions of dollars. And they were instructed at the end of World War II, when the whole world was in financial shambles, to kind of oversee and handle the U.S. financial situation. They set a goal to try to, and it's been 60 years now, 70 years now, the goal was to peg inflation. Inflation means the loss of value of the U.S. dollar over time. And so if you have $100 today, they were trying to peg inflation to 2%. I mean, if you had $100 today, the buying power of that $100 1 year from now, if you just kept it in your wallet, would be still $100, but you'd only get $98 worth of merchandise that you would have gotten for $100 a year ago. That's the easiest way to explain it. And they've tried to peg it at 2%, and they've done a pretty good job pegging it at 2% on the average over the last 60 years. But last year, the inflation rate was 8.4%. That's what they reported. If you've been buying gas and groceries and paying your rent, you know it's probably more like 10 to 15, 18%. But let's give them a chance to call it what they want to call it. For really wealthy people, yeah, they probably only called 8.4% because they've got $50 million and they only bought rent not rent, mortgage payments and vacation trips and luxury items and a new car. And of their total wealth, they probably only felt 8% or a 5% bite to it, because a lot of their money was sitting in earning money in the stock market. Not a lot, but they might have had their money in Silicon Valley Bank, letting them think they were safe. Well, if they had money invested in the stock of Silicon Valley Bank, thinking they were making money, which it had a good run, now they lost a lot of money. So now they're going to be aware of it. But anyways, over time, here's the last 10 years. And as this goes up, they draw it as an upward thing to make you think it's not scary, nothing to worry about. This is inflation. This says in 2010, right there, okay, the value of the money. And as it goes up, that means the value of your money goes down. So as you can see, it always ends up in the 100 to 102 range, meaning 101. So right December 19, 2019, 101 down to 88. That's a good loss of value of your money. So if you bought something in January of 2010 for $88, today you'd be paying $101 for it as a general principle. And as you see, it goes up and down, but this gives you an idea that unless you got a raise of 12% over the last 10 years, over that period of time, this is December 19, you really didn't do well. And the reason that it only gets up to 2019 is it's hard to get those numbers for current years. Here's an all years they have record for. As you can see, it's all over the place. We had a financial crisis right here. It was really bad. But as you can see, 85, as recently as then, it was in 81. Now it's 101. Well, excuse me, 3 years ago it was 101. If I find you a more recent one, you won't be happy with the way it's been recently, because recently it's gotten even worse. So anyways, what I'm saying is, if you thought you had a safe investment of putting your money in the bank, or if you thought you had a safe investment of buying a bank stock, what could be more safe and unrisking versus putting money in cryptocurrency, you probably overall have a downward direction, as opposed to, let's say, cryptocurrencies, which are, sure, absolutely, they have a lot of up and down activity. Here's Bitcoin. Let's see Bitcoin for the last 10 years. The overview here. And Bitcoin all. Back here in, let's go to 2000, I was in here in January 6, 2013, it was $800. In August 25th, 2013, it was $122. Today it's $25,554 right now. But see the nice upward trend? Yes, there were huge spikes. If you bought there, you're not very happy right now. But if you'd been buying right along, most of where you invested, you'd be in a profit position. Yes, Bitcoin is a very, very strong, stable one, but let's look at BNB. This is the token of the Binance Exchange. And we'll take a look at all of their information. And there's all of Binance. As you can see, for a long time the price was $7, $12, $16, $9, $10. This is from 2017 all the way to 2020. You had 3 years where you could have gotten in for under $30 a token. And now, today, it's $316 a token. Our YNA token is pegged to BNB. So if you want to buy YNA tokens, you buy them with BNB because that's what the pools are made up of. So as BNB rises, it automatically brings the YNA token's value higher. Because if you bought, let's say, your YNA tokens, and here's your Pancake Swap link. And let's see. YNA tokens. If you bought 100,000 YNA tokens right now, it would cost you 0.010540 BNB or $3.33 US dollars. So you take $3.33, buy that much BNB, and then exchange it for 100,000 YNA tokens. If BNB were to double in price, your 100,000 would still be worth that many BNB, but in US dollars it'd be worth $6.66. So it follows the value of them. Probably for the next 10 to 12 months, I intend not to add any utility to the YNA token because I think we can just ride an upward trend in the BNB token. At which time, when the BNB token plateaus, hopefully in the $500 to $700 range, I will add the utility of our raffles for Pokemon cards, gamer paraphernalia, K-pop photo cards, and give it a utility. And by then, hopefully, some of you will be using it to exchange money from one country to the other with very, very little difficulty. Anyways, just wanted to let you know what was going on. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.